Hello everybody, I am Conquering History Games, and welcome to the new live stream, Centrism Simulator. Well, that's what we're doing today. I guess we got a couple of centrist campaigns going up on the channel right now. We've got this, and I'm also doing Democratic Comey. Where's the Burgundian system? God, this channel's so boring when we're not genociding somebody. Hope you don't mind them. Eating a little bit here, having some dinner, which I kind of got my proportions wrong. I was just making some fried rice, just a super simple fried rice recipe I do when I've got leftover rice, but didn't have enough rice, and I also put in too much veg. Well, I guess you can't have too much veg, but you know what I'm saying. I would say it's basically fried vegetables, and there's a little bit of onion in there. But it tastes good. We're centrist now, but wait until we're womenizing capitalist democratic crusaders. Svetlana isn't democratic, but at least she isn't a fascist. Hey, if people voted for her, it sounds democratic to me. Okay. So, it's like this Colonel Sol guy. You guys keep saying he was a dictator. Sure, he has some authoritarian streak, but it's my understanding in the game that he was voted for legally in every election. I haven't heard anything that says there was voter fraud yet. Anyway, is this seriously still loading, or do I have to click something? Oh, I guess I had to click something. Or, all right, we got a lot of news. I guess the game turned forward for us. Politician shot dead. We've already seen that. Protest in the Gruny region. Let's see here. Around the city centers of Benfey and Borfin. Where's that at? What region is that? Benfey and Borfin. Oh, okay, this is the Gruny region. We haven't really seen what's going on out here. Read a report. Communist Party leader suspected of a bomb attack. Let's see here. You guys are so cynical about Seoul. You're comparing him to Stalin and Kim Jong-un. I'm just saying, until I see evidence that he was rigging the elections, I just see him as a really, really popular dude. Gosh, can you imagine George Washington if he was in charge today? It's like, oh, yeah, I'm sure people voted for Washington. They just happened to vote in the military leader during the revolution by huge margins. Oh, but I'm sure it was democratic. That's what you guys sound like to me right now. Have a little faith, people. I'm just finishing up this bowl of food. Oh, man. Pretty damn good if I say so myself. It's been a while since I made fried rice. Okay. Okay, delicious. Let me pour myself a little bit of aperitif. Cheers, everybody. Delicious. Let's see here. Let's see here. React to the unrest. Okay, so time for some decisions. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of decisions here. The political situation around the country has escalated. Chief Strategist Lucien Gallade has prepared several action plans that we can execute. What will we do to address the intensifying political climate? Okay, I think this is something that y'all are going to have to vote for. Let me know if the music's too loud, by the way. And then, while you guys vote, I'll also talk about my favorite film directors, because that came up in the stream earlier, and I was realizing that I didn't actually have my top 10 list. Hold on here. Okay, but first let me make the straw poll. I'm just going to label them 1 through 5. Okay, reaction to intensive... Okay, hold on. Reaction to... What are we going to call this? More intense political climate. Okay, I'm just going to list it 1 through 5, you know. We don't have time to type it all out. But it basically looks like... Number 1, call for restraint. Number 2, visit the towns in person. Number 3, label protests as traitors. Number 4, expand the police by deploying all recruits in training. Number 5, reject the plans. And we'll probably do a runoff. Deploying all recruits in training. You know, back when I was in basic training, one of the drill sergeants talked about how when 9/11 happened, they put people who were in basic training guarding the gates and stuff, and then some, I don't know, could you even call them a private? Well, there's privates in basic training. Sometimes there's specialists even. But yeah, then one of them decided to unload his rifle at some civilian car that was driving by, so they very quickly decided to not do that anymore. Like, hey, maybe these people who aren't even, you know, trained even basically, we shouldn't give them loaded rifles and tell them to, you know, if you see something suspicious, shoot it. So yeah, my top 10 film directors in no particular order. I spent like a whole 5 minutes thinking about this. I think it would be, and I guess I'll talk a little bit about like what each of them has done. So there's like context. So in no particular order, I'd say it's Peter Jackson, who did the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Martin Scorsese, who did like Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Gangs of New York. The Coen brothers, which really is Joel Coen. I think that he's the main brother who directs. I think Joel mostly directs and the other one mostly writes, but there's a little bit of crossover. Darren Aronofsky, who did like Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan, The Fountain. Wes Anderson, who did Grand Budapest Hotel, and Moonrise Kingdom, Isle of Dogs. Although this is, I'm basing this, I guess I should specify, these are my top 10 live action film directors. Having said that, Wes Anderson is probably in both categories, for both that and animated. Fun fact, Taxi Driver is one of the few foreign films allowed in North Korea. Is because he plans to shoot an American politician in it. Anyway. Then Akira Kurosawa, who, even if you don't know the name, you've probably seen some of his films, or at least you've seen things that were influenced from his films, because probably most famously, he's the guy who did Seven Samurai. But he also did Rashomon, which is the multiple points of view story. Hey there, Tenbray. Oh, you just walked in right when I was talking about who my top 10 film directors are. I'll just to review the ones we've already gone over. I said Peter Jackson, Martin Scorsese, the Coen brothers, parentheses Joel Coen, Darren Aronofsky, Wes Anderson, and these are not in any particular order. Stanley Kubrick's in there. Kubrick did Full Metal Jacket. He did freaking. He did the Clockwork Orange based on the American version of the book. Spartacus. Freaking a lot of stuff. And God, I really wish he had finished a couple of other things that he was working on. So like he had been working on AI, artificial intelligence. And then, Ran. Ran is an amazing movie. A lot of people think of Kurosawa for his black and white work, but Ran was in color, and he made full use of that. But yeah, Kubrick was also, I think, going to make a Napoleon film, which, goddamn, can you imagine if we had had a Kubrick Napoleon film? So freaking, did I already say Akira? Yeah, I said Akira. Speaking of AI, I would put Steven Spielberg in there, which I don't know how people feel about Spielberg these days. I know that he was very, very, very popular when, like he was seen very artistically when I was young, like a little kid, and then kind of when I was in my teenage years, people started to backlash against Steven Spielberg because it was, it was one of those classic. To me, it really just felt like, oh, his movies make a lot of money, so they must be bad, But Spielberg, we cannot remember. We cannot forget. He's the guy who did Jaws. He did freaking blah. He did The Terminal, Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List. Hello. But he's a trendsetter with sci-fi and stuff. The polls. Yeah, I'm gonna check the polls. I'm killing time. Shit. Only half of you have even voted. Oh my gosh, yeah, I don't think it's gonna catch up though. Alright, so this looks pretty overwhelming. It looks like everybody wants me to visit the affected towns in person. Since the rest of y'all don't want to vote. Okay. Freaking, what was I? Where was I though? Let me just finish up my what's happening here? Let me just finish up my list real quick. Just so it's like it remains clear. Hold on a second. Yeah. So then the other three would be the last two. Not last two. This is in no order. There's Guillermo del Toro, who did Blade 2, Pan's Labyrinth, and I actually recently found out that he did a movie that I had never heard of. Let me look it up actually. Which one was it? Where's his filmography? The Devil's Backbone. Yeah, he it was one of his early films, and I have never heard of it or seen it, so I'm gonna have to look into that sometime. It's supposed to be set during the Spanish Civil War. Okay, so, and then finally, Ridley Scott. Now, I was really back and forth on Oliver Stone, but I kind of think Oliver Stone, for me, a lot of his, because I was kind of initially considering some of the movies that he writes. Like, he wrote Scarface, for example. In fact, I remember I once was seeing a thing where there was an event and he was at it, and he joked about how, for all the work I've done in my life, all the movies I've tried to make, I feel that my legacy will be fuck you and say hello to my little friend, because he wrote that for Scarface. So Oliver Stone was like honorary mention number 11. Okay, so anyway, let's see what other news. We have more unread newspapers. We're talking to protesters. We're listening to concerns. This sends a powerful message to Sword citizens that the government is walking among them and listening to their problems. Whole Sword is desperately trying to restart Swordland's economy after the recession, and this political unrest is not helping, said a Sword scholar and professor of law at Whole Sword State University in Sold Sword. Tarantino is definitely not in my top 10, and he's quite safely outside of it. All right. So murder was a method of the past. No, that's not the new thing. Here we go. Farewell, Bernard Circus. Yeah, we already read this. Wait, what is this? 1927. Never Again. Won the war by bombarding citizens. We saw this nation fall into bloodshed and chaos. We were a generation who lived with Tarquin Sol for most of their lives. However, this generation is different. Our kids have not experienced civil war or martial law. This generation is born in a changing time. We cannot allow the same conditions to return. But again, it's like he Sol only got out of power, what was it, like 3 years earlier, maybe 4 years earlier? Talking about our kids have never experienced martial law or civil war. So that means Tarquin Sol did not have those things going on. What about Mel Gibson? Is he on my list? I wouldn't say so, even though I love, like, Apocalypto. Apocalypto's terrific. There was strong vision behind Passion of the Christ. Another one who I was really... Then again, maybe he should be in my top 10. Is George Miller. George Miller's stuff is really fucking good. So, for those of you who don't know who George Miller is the one who did the Mad Max movies. But he also did the Babe movies. You know, like, you know, about the pig. And he also did Happy Feet movies. So, you know, he's got some variety there. Alright. Martial law. When his tanks bombs cannot fall again. Freedoms cannot be suspended again. Truth behind the economic crisis. Large corporate businesses time again receive money from the government under the disguise of helping the economy. But what about the people? Many in the neglected regions still do not have electricity or fresh water in their homes, and they are the lucky ones. There is a growing housing crisis and people are on the streets begging for food. In the year of 1954. It's the current year, people! It is high time that money is invested in us, the people of Swordland, instead of armchair millionaires in their luxurious villas. Alright. Underhall construction is once again number 1. It's a great time to invest in underhall construction as the current year 13% increase in growth. Geopolitical says Rumberg closed the consulate. Yeah, we already knew about that. Let's see. For some reason, I remember when the media was losing their minds because they thought the Passion of the Christ was anti-Semitic. Oh, I don't remember that at all. I remember all the hype around Passion of the Christ. You know, I was around when that was coming out and conscious. Oh yeah, but Mel Gibson's films. So what did Mel Gibson do? He did Apocalypto. He did Robert Rodriguez. Oh shit, Robert Rodriguez. You know what? Robert Rodriguez has to go in my top 10. I can't believe I didn't think about that. You know what? Oh, do I want to kick Spielberg? God, it's a tough list to do. The thing is, Robert Rodriguez has kind of hurt himself with some of the later Spy Kids movies. Damn, Robert Rodriguez makes good shit, though. See, that's the question, then, is, like, is it what makes a director great, that he's got consistency, or that he's, like, higher rated, you know, or, like, that he has peaks? Because, like, that's what hurts Adam McKay for me. That's why Adam McKay is not in my top 10 directors, because he's got some really good films, but he's also got some fucking stinkers. There was a South Park episode about Passion of the Christ being anti-Semitic. Oh, well, you know, if South Park said it, definitely must have been what the population was thinking. Arcadia has developed their first ICBM. So this is the America equivalent. Alright, Inde at the Maroon Palace. I think we're about to go into some dialogue here. I don't think Mel Gibson directed We Were Soldiers. I think he just starred in it. Let me look it up, what his filmography was. Now, he had a director he used to work with a lot, but... let's see. He directed Braveheart? What? I thought he had his buddy who was the writer direct it. Huh. Okay, but anyway, okay, so he did Braveheart, apparently. He did Passion of the Christ, he did Apocalypto, and Hacksaw Ridge. Yeah, so he's just got too small of a catalog, I think. Yeah, it's too small a catalog for me to put him in the top 5. Let me double check Robert Rodriguez's. Oh yeah, the Coen brothers, by the way, are the ones who did, like, Burn After Reading, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Okay, let me look at Robert Rodriguez. See, Robert Rodriguez has some really good shit. He did the Machete, not the Machete. He did the Mariachi trilogy. He did Sin City. He did Planet Terror. Those are all great. But then, like, I don't know. Because he does a lot of kid stuff. And the kid stuff's not that great. Because, like, I think it's his son writes them and he just directs them. It just, nah, Robert Rodriguez, he's gonna, yeah, I think he's just out. He's out of the top 10. He doesn't make it. Anyway, it was late in the evening. Let's get back to the game, shall we? The Maroon Palace is finally getting somewhat quiet when I returned to my office at the top. I eagerly approached my chair and sprawled in it. Yeah, he did do Spy Kids. Let's see. It had been an exhausting day, just like every day since I took office. Don't want to light a cigarette, pour some whiskey, lean back and relax, or prepare to go home. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a little bit more dinner. I'll be right back. I'm back. All right. Do one. Trust me. No, smoking is bad, and we're trying to quit, because if we don't quit, then our freaking son's gonna keep smoking, and whenever we say don't smoke, he's gonna say, well, you smoke, and then we got nothing. I think what we're gonna do is maybe pour some whiskey. Prepare to go home. Oh, that's right. We're not home. We live separately from the palace. Yeah, let's get ready to go home. Let's go hang out with the family. What have I got for super? What do you mean? I forced myself out of the chair to gather my jacket and briefcase. I really needed to make some time for my family. I quickly glanced out the window before leaving. Sergei and the guards were outside by the main gate as usual. I heard a couple knocks on the door. My secretary, Livia Suno, entered. I think I said, just speaking of Sin City, I think I said that she kind of, I don't know, I kind of get like a young Rosario Dawson vibe from her. But, you know, with different hair. If we end up fucking her, like if I don't get a choice, I'm going to be pissed. We better not. Mr. President, Mr. Tusk is here to see you. You had a meeting with the Lothberg spokesman. I'm so sorry for not giving you proper notice. Are you serious? So like isn't this like the richest businessman, or like one of the eighth richest man in the country? I had a meeting with him at the end of the day, and she didn't remember? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh. The palace is full of ghosts. Go home. Yeah, it's like, get the hell out of here. You know what? This guy can wait. I'm not gonna get pissed at her. Yeah, it's just that's strike one. We're gonna go home. I was just about to leave. Maybe we can postpone the meeting. But he's already here, Mr. President. What do you want me to tell him? And then he swaggered into the room. I met Swordland's most powerful. I'd met Swordland's most prominent businessman once or twice, but never alone. He had large jowls, blindingly shiny shoes, and the air of someone who was used to getting his ways. Look, she seems like a professional lady. Your guy doesn't strike me as that kind of sleazeball. No, I know. If anything, I'm more worried about Peter banging her, because then that means she's not working. Like, anybody ever seen The Godfather? Coppola was another one who I was really on the fence if I wanted to put him on my top 10. But there's the scene where Michael is confronting this guy, and you know, Mo Green, and Mo Green has been slapping his brother in public, and he says, "Is that why you slap my brother around in public?" And then Mo Green just goes, "He was banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. People couldn't get drinks at their tables." And you know, that reminds me of another movie, The Hired for Looks Not Skill. That scene in Charlie Wilson's War when the guy's noticing like all the pretty women in Charlie Wilson's office, and then the secretary says Look, he's got a saying. You can teach him to type, but you can't teach him to grow tits. Like, oh my gosh. So, Mr. Large Jowls Tusk in your swagger. Anything to drink, Mr. Tusk? Water? Whiskey? Cognac. Preferably from before you were born, sweetheart. Hey, you can't talk to my secretary that way. I'll check the supply room. Joel Schumacher for Lice, Lost Boys, Time to Kill, but then again, Batman. Yep, that'll do it. Livia backed out of the office, shooting me an apologetic lick as she did so. Walter hung up his hat, which I could see was lined with mink. He fixed me with a long, hard stare, then broke into a toothy grin. This guy is way too casual. I'm the goddamn president. Didn't you hear? Good evening, Mr. President. I am here to congratulate you. We both sat down. My business partners and I wish you a successful term as the leader of our nation. Yeah, get to the point, bro. I'm trying to go see my family. Get to the point, Mr. Tusk. Why are you really here? I see that you're not very welcoming, President. Let's go, bro! Let's go! I merely congratulated you. I see no reason to necessitate rudeness. Bro. You're getting on my nerves, bro. Forgive me. I didn't want to be rude. Long day. You know, that kind of reminds me of... Gosh, I'm getting on a nostalgia trip here. Not nostalgia trip, but I'm just like, hey, remember? But many years ago, I had, I was like, we're talking, I'm still a teenager. I went over to a buddy's house, and me and my girlfriend at the time had a bad fight, and I was being really hostile to him. And then eventually he confronts me about it. He's like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? And then I explained what had happened, and so I was angry about that. And he says, okay, well, just tell me that next time, and we'll go get some booze. So let's go get some booze. All right, so, but drinking doesn't take your problems away, boys and girls. Remember that. Okay. No need to ask for forgiveness. You are the president, after all. May I continue? Nod. I'd like to build a profitable relationship between us. That being said, there are some concerns of mine and the people I represent, which I would like to take this opportunity to clear up. Who are the people he represents? You know that I represent the Lotherberg group. Alright, let's review this. So this is the son... Oh, this is the grandson of Noel Tusk, the guy who founded it. So, no clear structure. They can meet every 3 months. Meetings are secret, but there's topics like economy, security, and international politics discussed. Conspiracy theorists think that the future of Maricopa is decided at these conferences. Oh, so it's like the El Paso del Norte group. Here's a little fun thing. There is an Illuminati in El Paso, but it's not a secret at all. Everybody knows about them. It's called El Paso del Norte. And the El Paso del Norte group is literally like just the 300 richest people in the city. And they just sit around and talk about how they're going to shape the city. Everybody knows about it. Actually, I gotta say, I was very impressed with an article that was done by the New York Times back when Beto O'Rourke was... some of you may remember Beto O'Rourke from when he ran for president. He was a young guy who would curse a lot. And everybody's like, whoa, he's cursing. He's for real. It's like, we're going to take your fucking guns, man. And he's like, whoa, that's interesting. And there's footage of him skateboarding. He's not like most boys. Politician boys. Anyway, so before he ran for president, he was running for Senate against Ted Cruz. And he became like a national figure because Ted Cruz is a national figure, so people looked into who was running against him. So before all of that, Beto O'Rourke had been on the city council, and he was also the congressman from El Paso for many, many years, but he was just a local figure. Excuse me. And so then the New York Times did a really long, extended article about Beto's time in El Paso politics, and they were talking about the El Paso del Norte group. And I thought, like, wow, that's actually some good reporting, because that's like local shit. So anyway, yeah, this Lotharberg group, that's what this sounds like. But Serge says they're based on the Bilderberg group. Let me look that up. Bilderberg, that sounds slightly familiar. The Bilderberg group. It's meant to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. Huh. Okay. I haven't heard of this. This is like a European thing. Alright. So, anyway, yeah, so in my head, I am qualifying these guys as like the El Paso del Norte of Swordland. And it's like, this ain't a conspiracy theory. Like, everybody knows about them. There's articles about them. That they all jerk each other off, and that it's one of those things that I've always said. El Paso is not really, it's a feudal system, and they are our barons. So anyway, the ruined state, and nobody cares, because nobody cares about El Paso. The rest of Texas doesn't give a shit what's going on in El Paso, so they kind of do what other stuff. The ruined state of the economy in Swordland has influenced everyone. The recession hit all of us hard. Walter pulled out a box of cigars from his jacket. I forgot to do the freaking tip. Tenbury. It's basically a group of people trying to figure out who to bribe without stepping on each other's toes. Well, no, they help each other out. So it's like what they basically have done is they've decided what they want El Paso to look like, and they all work together to make it happen, and also make money along the way. So, for example, they decide, okay, we want a stadium put downtown. So let's buy up downtown land. And then we're going to get the people we want into office to approve the stadium. And then the city will buy the land for us up at a markup in a few years. It's all very standard stuff. It's all on the books. It's all on the books. It's not a conspiracy. It's out in the open, It's about as much a conspiracy as like when LeBron James is openly contacting people and for who he wants to set up his next super team with, even though it's like, what's the term? There's like a term in the NBA where it's like technically illegal, but like he just does it in the open. But the stuff they're doing is not even illegal. It's like they're contributing money to groups to get them elected. They don't do anything illegal. And then sometimes when they do things that are illegal and there's a fine for it, they just pay the fine. So, for example, I was just talking about how downtown El Paso, they're trying to build a stadium down there. Well, one of the members of El Paso del Norte, he owns property down there and rents it there's people who live there, and he didn't have his buildings were not up to code, like they didn't have proper heating and stuff like that. Which was in violation of laws. It's like you got to have a minimum standard. This is not a good place. You're not the places that you're renting are not up to code. So because they're not up to code, we're gonna fine you. And he just went, okay, and he just pays it out. He doesn't fix it. And rich people problems. I wouldn't say it's problems, because he's gonna make a ton of money when he sells the land to the city later. He's gonna make it right back. So I guess that would be a case of like, yeah, he's doing something illegal, but the law then says this is his punishment, and he goes through the punishment. He doesn't go to jail for it, he just pays a fine. Because that's what the law is. Now, if we want to talk about whether that's right or wrong, that's a separate conversation. That's just how it works. Anyway, we're way off topic. Let's get back to Swordland, shall we? Instead of me talking about this fucking town I live in. I had these brought from Lesbia, the best cigars in the whole continent. Would you like to try one? You go ahead. You go ahead. I don't want to smoke. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna make my guy quit smoking by the end of this. Walter grabbed himself a cigar and lit it. He looked out towards the city scenery as he puffed away. I heard that you purchased stock from Armande Industries in Arcacia. Smart buy. They're developing new gadgets that are going to be profitable. Let's see, that's why I wanted for us to smoke. Smoking yourself and then not letting Tusk smoke is the ultimate power move. Oh. And gotta blow it in his face too. You don't talk to my secretary like that. Anyway, okay, with this comes a reward. I expect a good return on investment. Spend money to make money. Let's see if it holds true. I figured, why not take the chance? Say I expect a return on my investment, I guess. Let's see here. You have a keen eye for business. I will buy a couple of 1,000 shares too to expand my portfolio. Hope the investments pay off for both of us, President. His eyes wandered away for a moment. You're having a good start to the term for sure, besides the recent troubles. Glad that you have decided to promote the free market, which is the only thing that can get us out of this mess. Okay, we had nothing but trouble so far. The ability of the free market to evolve is hard to dispute. It is good that we may think alike on this matter. I look favorably to my economic team's advice. Hey, that's you guys! You're my economic team, because you're the ones who voted for it. I look forward to my economic team's advice. And I just hold up my phone. I know it's the 50s, but somehow I have a smartphone. And it's just the chat, you guys talking on it. Anyway. You have talented economists like Mr. Hole in the cabinet, so you made the right choice. Now, wait, which one's that one? Oh, Cyril Figgis. Right. There are many avenues where we could work together. He grinned. The high-speed rail investment was a great decision. The business logistics will improve and boost the economy once finished. Nationalize his business. That would be a lot of stuff. That would be like a steel company, a newspaper, a restaurant, etc. That's what it says on the chat phone. It's like, let me consult with my team. and then like there's still something that says face reveal win on there. Let's see here. I'm going to say to him, I don't want to disclose our intentions to an outsider. It's like, bro, you're not in my cabinet. You are a private citizen. You're happy with the thing. I kind of feel like he's still, like, he seems to like, he likes the decisions we're making, but it's like, yeah, bro, I'm glad you, the way I'm thinking it is like, it's like, okay, I'm glad you like the decisions that we're making. I'm not making these decisions for you. I'm making them for the country. And it's because what the voices in my head, aka my YouTube chat, said. So I don't want to disclose our intentions to an outsider. That's a fair point, but why distance yourself from potential friends here? We can be close allies. The group can help you get Swordland out of the recession, which will be the key problem to help solve in your term. It could even determine your re-election. What is he saying? He's gonna not get us out of the recession if he doesn't like us? Isn't he gonna suffer? Fuck you, bro. If the economy recovers, then you're gonna succeed too. Piss off. He's trying to, I don't know, maybe it's because, you know, his swagger in and his casualness and the way he talked to the secretary. I don't know. He's got, I don't like him. I'm on my, I don't want to say I'm on edge with him, but it's like I'm analyzing your shit, bro. Let's see here. The investment project contract will be awarded to one of the three main contenders. He pulled a check out of his pocket and slid it toward me on the table. My personal bank details were listed on it with a deposit of 500,000 Sortish Ren ready to be transferred. That was 6 months of a president's salary. If the contract was somehow awarded to Underhall Construction, they would not only work hard and deliver, but also do it on time. Yeah, maybe it's because I've been born and raised in El Paso, but that's a bunch of bullshit. Construction companies never finish shit on time, nor do they work hard! Fucking, okay. Like, a couple of blocks from where I live right now, they were constructing some crap, and they tore up the street. They blocked off a bunch of small businesses that were on that block. And so all it did was just suffocate those small businesses, and nothing got done. And one of them, this coffee emporium that's really popular, everybody loves it. I don't personally go there because I don't drink coffee, but I'll sometimes go there for like chocolates for special occasions. Anyway, they put out a sign, and the sign said, "Free coffee to any construction worker seen working," because there was nobody ever out there. So this wall, and also he's trying to bribe me, so fuck off! What do you think, Mr. Rain? Wouldn't that be good? He put his index finger on the check. Bro, I'm about to put my middle finger in your eye. There was noise by the door. Livia Suno was standing there holding a tray with a bottle and 2 glasses. Now there's a witness. Now there's a witness. What if she gets bribed to say that, "Oh, I saw the check on the table"? I'm so sorry, Mr. Tusk, but all I could find was a 1942 Savigny. I hope that's acceptable. She quickly put the tray on my desk and walked out. Tusk eyed her as she left. Remind me to visit your office more often. Now, where were we? Do we have a deal? Oh, bro. Bro, what, bro? Are you kidding me, bro? Hell no, bro. How do I... let's see. I'm looking forward to trying... Nope, not yet. We both know you can do better. I can ask for more money? No, I'll make my own decision. Did you just try to bribe the president of Swordland? I refuse. Guess what, guys? You don't know. We're not voting on this. This guy needs to kiss my ass. What the fuck? Walter sighed and put the check away, putting it in his pocket. Unbelievable. Did you think that I was just another corrupt politician? Is this what you came for? Then we're done here. Thank you for the visit nonetheless. Or be careful, Tusker. You'll have to make your deals in a prison cell. Oh, do I really want to smack him that way? Kind of want to tell him to eat shit and he'll go to prison. You know what? Maybe I'm too hot-headed. I need some distance from this. We're gonna I'm gonna let you guys vote, but the vote is only gonna be on option 1 or 2. Unbelievable. Tried to fuck it. No, it's completely believable. What am I saying? This is some El Paso del Norte fuck. Okay. Walter Tusk. Hold on. Walter Tusk. Response 1. I'm not corrupt. Or 4. Try that again and go to jail. So you're gonna vote. Those are the options. Thank you for your visit. For what? What did he thank me? What do I have to thank him for? He showed up, said, "Hey, everything you're doing is smart and good. Also, can I bribe you?" He's taking time for my family. The polls are open, by the way. He's taking time for my family. What do I have to thank him for? It's not like he came up to me and he gave me some information I didn't already know. All right, so go on and vote. Yeah, screw this guy. I'm gonna go get a refill of water while y'all vote. 3 or you'll get assassinated. I think you're bluffing, Christopher. Star, we can sing from afar. Tenbray is saying I'm more of a not burn the bridge of potential use of Asfit. Danielle says I should nationalize him. Yeah, we're not. I don't think we're gonna nationalize. We already said we're pro free market. Anyway, Let's check the results. Wow, very, very tight. We need more voting, guys. I know most of you have voted, but if you haven't, you need to get in there because it's exactly tied right now. Anyway. I'm going to pop open a can here. Whoop. Come on, somebody vote. Somebody vote. If you haven't voted, please vote. In fact, I'm probably going to say whatever's the next vote in will determine what we do here. Because it's right down the middle. Remember, poll is in the chat. Oh, shit. Did you hear me, Daniel? That was the only good part of the reboot because I stopped watching it after a while. It just really was dumbing things down. Yeah. Alright, yep. Now I'm going to sing. Yep. An adorable star we could see from afar. But a truth within lies of horrendous hard lives. Oh, okay, we got a winner. We got a winner. Did you think I was just another corrupt politician? Well, you know what? Let's give it another minute. See if anybody's coming in late. Of horrendous hard lives, there's a feeling of peace as the pendulum swings, and I can't believe it's ever gonna end. In our blood is the god of war, but you just want everyone to get along. For the candles in the darkness burning like our sorrows, there's no way to stop this even while. For the broken-hearted people, diamonds now surround us. So I told them I'd leave the past behind. Binary, a centrifugal force crushing us. Gravity is our eternity. Yeah, that guy's great. I actually just saw Promare for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and I've been listening to the soundtrack for that a lot. He's good. He's good. He did Kill la Kill also. That's one of my favorite ever anime soundtracks. Okay, it looks like nobody else is voting. Hey there, Nicholas. So the situation that you missed is that this businessman has come in and he just tried to bribe us. He wasn't even subtle about it. He literally put the check on the table. So anyway, we just told him to fuck off, and now we're gonna tell him I'm not another corrupt politician. Administrations are built on mutually beneficial partnerships, but I do understand where you stand now. Have a good evening, Mr. President. Walter stood up, grabbed his jacket, and made his way towards the door. He closed the door behind him. I gathered my things and prepared to finally head home. As I walked out, I noticed Livia still there, covering up her typewriter for the evening. If I may be so bold, Mr. President, did you accept his offer? Damn it! So she did see! Let's see, I can't wait for Swordland's Oliver Stone to come along and film Rain. Voiced by... It'll have to be an animated feature, and I will, of course, voice him. Let's see. That is absolutely none of your business. Of course I didn't. How could you even ask me that? Do not ever speak about it again. You didn't see anything. I'm going to say, of course I didn't. How could you even ask me that? It turns out I actually get crazy. I become like Dennis in freaking the Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like, you bitch! Let's see here. The other girls have told me about all kinds of dealings that went on during the Alfonso administration. I wasn't sure if you were that kind of president. Let's see. I most certainly am not, or don't worry your pretty head about it. Your pretty head. No, absolutely not. Let's see. I most certainly am not. Livia is a spy. Oh, all secretaries are spies. Let's see here. Throw your lot in with the oligarchs, have them kill her and bury her in their yards. Livia knows too much, send her to the re-education camp. Oh my gosh. Don't be ridiculous. Livia is just a normal secretary. Well, look, I got slightly, I don't know if spoiled would be the right word, but I did see in the achievements that it's possible for your marriage to fall apart. And I'm just saying, let's not go down the potential road of infidelity. Kibner suggests expanding executive powers. That's what he wants the new constitution to do. The president would have immunity before the courts. The president would chair the cabinet. It's not clear whether the suggestion would spark further debate. The PFJP proposal, so these are like the Social Democrats, suggests the president should have no presidential decrees, that it might result in the abolishment of the assembly and take the country to an early election, despite the independents' counter-proposal to give similar power to the parliament to take another president. Yeah, whatever. Reform demands are gaining popularity. Okay, this is reviewing what we already know. Workers' Party Solidarity March. Oh, this is a new character. This is one of the speakers. Manson Leckie, a bloodish member of the Assembly, who's standing as the leader of the independents of the Grand National Assembly. Not a member of the WPB. He was a leading figure at the event. Okay, so he's not a communist, because, right, these guys are communists, right? No, they're not. They're generally left-wing, excuse me. Okay, so these are, like, socialists. They're not full-blown communists. They reject the label of bloodish nationalism. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of like, God, what would I compare them to? Let's see. She's a walking tabloid paper. You know, that God, I keep remembering. I'm just talking about like books and movies and films and movies and films and TV shows that I remember, but like, it's just. So I watched some of The West Wing, not all of it. It's a lot of the stuff is not totally my cup of tea. With like Aaron Sorkin's writing is extremely hit or miss with me, and let's not even get started talking about his political views. But he is sometimes pretty funny as a writer. And I remember, and so like I watched The West Wing using like a filler guide, which was like, oh, you know, you skip a bunch of these episodes, watch this so you can catch the major arcs and whatever. I just remember that there was a part where there was a rumor that the president's son-in-law, so this is a guy who's married to the president's daughter, is cheating on his wife, which would be a huge scandal, you know, if the president's daughter, there was adultery going on. So somebody gets assigned to like ask questions and look into it to see if the adultery is really happening. And there's a part where he's talking to his supervisor and he goes like, yeah, this is a picture of the family with the nanny. And it's like, yeah, so this is them, that's the kids, and that's the nanny. And so as you can see, looking at her, I think that he did it. You know, so, they're like the Kurdistan Democratic Party. Okay. Yeah, so let's actually read about this guy, though, specifically. So he's the leader, or he was the leader. He got educated in literature. He faced problems because of his bloodish background and his left-leaning views, so he actually did not finish this degree. And then later on went to Dyer University and got a degree in history. So after the Bloodish Freedom Party was banned, he started the new movement. I think the KDP is also in Iraq. It's like a multinational party. KDP's been around for a long time, been around since the 40s. They outlasted Saddam. Good for them. He protested against an insurgency. Violence would only result in more violence. He later joined the Workers' Party. He ran as president. He got 6% of this general vote. He resigned and then ran as an independent. Huh, okay. Interesting guy. We will once again foil this war plot that was set up by the soulist ideology. There's soulism. That's an interesting thing. It's like, couldn't decide what kind of sun it wanted to be, so it was both. Oh, because the bottom ones are the pillars. Republicanism, nationalism, statism. We will come out of the tunnel of conflict. Our songs of peach, which spread from Azam, will ring out even stronger all over Swordland. Hold on. Sorry, did blow my nose a bit. So the three rays at the bottom are supposed to represent the pillars, I guess. And some bloodish citizens were attacked by the young swords, probably. Okay. Hotboy's saying he's not that successful. I'd say he's relatively successful, considering the kind of country he's in and stuff. He got 6% of the vote. Not bad. Let me get a sip here. Economic Relief Plan. With the assistance of the National Business Council and the Central Bank, Simon Hull put forward a countrywide relief plan to mitigate the economic hardships that are being felt. We can either provide stimulus checks for people in need, or bail out businesses under serious financial strain, or decide not to approve the plan. Okay, this is very, very important. So this is definitely going to be something y'all vote on. Economic relief. Stim checks. 2 is business bailout. Or 3, neither budget remains the same. And I think we'll do this as a runoff too. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But you know, if something hits 50% or more, then we'll do it. So we have 2 government budget left, by the way. 2 budget left. 2 budget points. It's in the top. It's up here. Okay. Cyril, help us on this. Let's see, 10 raises got dropped from the stream for a minute there. Oh, well, we're voting on what we're going to do about the Economic Relief Act 10, Bray. Do we want to provide stimulus checks? Do we want to bail out the businesses? Or do we want to do nothing so we can keep money in the government budget? Oh, man, I gotta blow my nose. Ethnic tensions. I think you might be a little bit behind, Tenbray. Hit live. Oh shit, by the time you see this though, you'll have caught up. I don't know. Have I told you guys that, you know, I want to one day finish up my episode by episode review of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, where I compare the events in it to real life historical events? Hey Laser Lion, you new here? Am I going free market or state? People voted for the free market, but we've been making state investments. So yeah, like Sangen said, it's kind of like social liberal. Farmers. Wait, farmers? What? Farmers isn't on here. You might be thinking of a different decision. Well, I guess farmers are people. I don't know. Yeah, I did the... So if anybody has ever seen that video that's called Why You Should Watch Legend of the Galactic Heroes, I'm the one who made that. I made that several years ago. And then I started to do an episode-by-episode review, and then at the same time I was doing this gaming channel. Although technically, this is actually my second channel that's called Conquering History Games. It's a long story, but I had to delete the other one and then remake it again, the same everything else. So, Kaiser, I became, you know, the channel blew up because I was the Kaiserite Guides guy, and then I just ended up not going back and finishing those. So one day I want to go back and do that. You did see it, Daniel? That's cool. Yeah. All right, let me check in on these results. What's it looking like? Okay, looks like we don't need to do a runoff. You were stumped because I stopped doing it. Yeah, I want to get back to. I think I made those videos in like 2017. What I was actually thinking about doing is because one of the things that I did in 2020 is I watched every single anime that Studio Trigger ever did. The only ones I hadn't caught yet was Promare, which I watched a couple of weeks ago. So I was thinking about maybe going back to that channel and doing a series of episodes where I just kind of review those as a whole, just to kind of stretch my reviewing muscles. Okay, so it looks like nobody else is voting. It seems to be pretty definitive. 69% of the vote say. Okay, it just became 64% of the vote, but still, it's not enough to swing it. Provide stimulus checks for people in need, which I think actually is an achievement. Let me look up the Suzerain achievements. Let me check. Control F. Stimulus. Okay. No, that's only one part of getting the achievement. And we're not achievement hunting here, because like, it would be pretty much impossible to do with you guys voting on everything, but that's one of the things that we could do to get an achievement. It's part of, we have to do like 4 different things to get it, and that's one of them. Also, don't we have to like get that through the assembly, or is it just, it's gonna work anyway? Economists, so the Wall Street Journal, basically. Unemployment and checks. The administration has fallen for populism and the idea that giving people money will solve the problems of the economy overall. It's hard to grasp where these ideas come from, especially when long-term job growth and employment is what this country needs to secure in order to have a stable economy. What is the plan here? People will be able to pay their rents for a few months, and then they will fall into the same unemployment trap due to a lack of job availability or security. The businesses can't carry all the weight of the declining economy on their own shoulders and employ people without help from the government. The administration needs to reevaluate their way out of the recession with realistic methods. Does the Radical have anything to say about it? Huh, you'd think they would. Let's see, creative nickname says, stimulus checks help businesses as increases spending money. Bailouts only encourage inefficient business to keep being inefficient. Well, I'm not going to discuss my real life thoughts on bailouts versus stimulus checks versus, you know, whatever. But there was this funny moment last year when the airlines got bailed out. Somebody in my family said, like, she is not by any means somebody who would, you know, like if you met her, well, she's not a very political person, but you would never think like, oh, this person's a communist or something. So she and my family said, like, if we're gonna bail out the airlines, shouldn't we own the airlines now? And like, again, not a super politically focused person, not politically knowledgeable or anything, but I was just like, did you accidentally become a Bolshevik? You know, nationalize the things. Anyway, the parliament got updated. Oh shoot, spilled a little bit. Hold on. Okay, so country overview. Something happened in the economy. Economic Relief Act. The government passed a relief act to tackle the economic difficulties the country is going through. Okay. But there was another thing, wasn't there? Or nope, that was it. But what's this up here in the journal? Oh, hey, we made it to turn 2. Let's see here. I visited the towns most affected by the political... yeah, then she grew a beard. But I am a communist. Yeah. Our administration passed a large economic relief. Yeah, that's awesome. We made it to turn 2. When did that happen? Let's see. Yeah, it's a green thing, so it must be better than fucking the unemployment crisis and whatnot. But was there anything else? No, I think that was it. Okay, I'm figuring green is good, right? Wait, there's something up here. What? What's going on? Read the report from Agnolia. There's an imbalance of trade. Oh, this guy's upset because I make more money than his country does in the trade deal. We'll make a better trade deal then next time. Gotta look out for me, bro. Local police are working with nationalists. Excuse me? The policeman tried to bribe an agent to burn down a store that belongs to a new Communist Party member and instigate further violence. We have detained the policeman on charges of corruption. Oh my god. Let me look at my cabinet. Where's my cabinet? I forget where it is. Where is she? You! You need to get your cops in order. They're literally working with the fascists. Who ever heard of such a thing? Vogsland. Check the leader of Vogsland. I think we did a few streams ago. Let me check the codex. Whoops. Ah, hold on. Codex, locations, countries, Vogsland, Chancellor Emmerich Hegel. Actually, no, we didn't see that. First off, Hegel. You know, no, I don't actually think that cabinet member is in on it. I don't think she's in on it. I think she just doesn't understand. But yeah, Hegel, like the German philosopher. He is a Vlagslandian politician and communist revolutionary who currently serves as the Chancellor of the Democratic Republic of Vogsland. He played a leading role in the 1920 revolution and the establishment of the Democratic Republic of Vogsland. He was also responsible for many relatively liberal reforms in areas of domestic policy. He was a political commissar during the Vlagslandian Revolution. He fought aside the famous revolutionary Wilhelm Ulbricht, who does not have something in the codex, who led the revolution inspired by the Malianist revolution in United Contana. That's basically communist. Hegel extensively helped Ulbricht with the establishment of the People's Party. He worked his way up the hierarchy. He supported Ulbricht's purges and the arrests of thousands of anti-communists in the 1930s. He worked extensively for the decolonization of the Rika and Xena continents, convincing the government to give military and financial support to various independent and revolutionary movements. After Ulbricht's death in 1940, he was elected as the Chancellor. He started a period of de-Ulbrichtization where he denounced his purges, which he had supported earlier, and enacted many reforms which started a less repressive area in Vogsland. You guys say this is Lenin? He doesn't sound like Lenin. Like, yeah, he was in the revolution, and I guess I can kind of see where maybe the shape of his head looks like Lenin. Of course, Lenin wasn't bald, but I don't think Lenin is the right comparison here. Anyway. He reorganized the People's Party, distanced it from Malian lands. He promoted what he called Vlagslandian socialism. Despite his reforms that shifted Vlagsland's way from Malianyevism, he brought the country closer to United Cortana both economically and diplomatically. He also greatly improved the relations with the old colonies of the Valgos Empire. The world building in this game is epic. Oh yeah, it's great, but I don't think Lenin is a good comparison. It sounds like this is a guy, he's like a socially liberal dude in a hardline communist world or system, and maybe Khrushchev. No, I wouldn't say dang, Serge. I'm not seeing stuff about market reforms, but he's less repressive. He's anti-colonialism. He fought in the he's a mix smash. Tito, I don't know if Tito is totally right either, because he's still bringing himself closer to United Contana, whereas Tito was basically doing his own thing. He's old man Sablin. Yeah, he's like a hybrid, you know, and it's its own world, you know. Anyway, He's a mishmash. Not too many leaders made it into their 80s. The ones who lived through the revolutions tend not to make it that long, either because they get purged or they. I'm sure it doesn't do much. It doesn't do a lot of good to their bodies and their minds when you're living through a revolution. It's like if you ever go back and watch my Russian Republic campaign in Kaiserreich, I talk about a lot of the people who were members of the, excuse me, of the democratic government of Russia before the Bolshevik Revolution. And because remember, there were two Russian revolutions in 1917. There was the one that made Russia democracy, and then there was the October Revolution, which turned into the Civil War. Anyway, but like even people who we would, you know, who were like market liberal, Soekarno, oh yeah, the Indonesian dude. Yeah, that's an interesting comparison. Yeah, because he was in like the freaking, yeah, you know what, you might be right. That might be the best comparison because he was a part of like the revolution. But he also, I don't know. It's a mix. It's a mix. Because I don't think Sukarno really in the war? Like, it wasn't violent. Like, he was just working with whoever, so he's kind of like... Sukarno was like Chandra Bose if Chandra Bose was successful. And didn't die on that plane. But he did kill a lot of people later. But anyway, yeah, what I was talking about with the Russian Revolution, and actually I've been reading this book about the revolution. I've been, kind of looking at it like from a really, it's supposed to be like the definitive modern account. It's written by Orlando Figes, who, he's, is the guy who wrote, like, he's written a lot of good Russian stuff, like Natasha's Dance and, about the Crimean War. Anyway, so the Russian Revolution, yeah, you had like even those like socially liberal, even social conservative, but like pro-democracy types, in that democratic Kerensky-led government. They spent time in gulags just like the communists did. Like it kind of seemed like it was a rite of passage. It's like you couldn't be a serious politician when the 1917 revolutions came along unless you had spent time in the gulag. Like, so you had to earn your bone. You know, you had to get your bones, right? Anyway, let's get back to the game, shall we? A significant meeting about the Elwyn project would take place. Several construction companies sent their representatives to the city hall. Gus arrived earlier with a heartwarming smile. Yeah, you're right, creative nickname, you're right. Hello, Mr. President. Good to see you again. So he's our Minister of Agriculture. Appreciate you taking up my offer on the stock investment. Armandine is a very promising corporation, and if everything goes well, you will make solid returns. Let's see, thanks for arranging the opportunity. I will get you a 25-year-old Ellery Maroon if they make solid profits. If being the keep word, I might lose all the money I put in, or just wanted to take my chances. Just wanted to take my chances. Yeah. You know, or that's like, wasn't there a point, and it wasn't that long ago, it was like 10 years ago or something, but like the leaders of, I think it was Chile, Argentina, and Brazil were all women who had been political prisoners under previous administrations. You guys know what I'm talking about? Or is that like a false memory I've got in my head? One has to play the game to be able to win. Simon Hall joined us, and after sitting down, we moved on to discuss the details of the L1 railway project. I came with train yesterday and it was a little uncomfortable. Besides starting our economic recovery, the train's journeys here will be much more pleasant, Mr. President. It's William Z. Foster. Yeah, I can see it. He kind of looks like a young Foster a little bit. That's a given now. This project will improve so many things ranging from logistics to growth. You made the right choice for sure. Yeah, Dilma. She was the Brazilian one, right? Isn't she in prison now though again? Wait, what? No, she just got reelected a few hours ago. What? Hold on. Was that today? Wait a minute. No. Okay, I was a little confused for a second. No, this is an old article. I was a little bit confused there for a second. Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. No. Nothing's happening. Okay, I got confused because I saw an article when I searched her and it said elected to second term and I was a little confused for a second. No. Let's look at other results in news though. Wait, I'm getting conflicting stuff here. You know what? We don't need to be looking up Brazilian politics right now. Anyway. This project will improve many things ranging from logistics to growth. You made the right choice for sure. We can say I can trust your economic plans. Or say I hope so. Let's just say I hope so, Gus. Although... You know what? Let's throw him a bone. We're gonna say I trust him. I'm glad to hear that. We should be able to slow down the recession if we finish this project successfully. I'm sure we will. According to your document, many citizens will be employed because of business expansions. Okay. So, what will it take to stop the recession? This is just the beginning. We will need to follow this project up with several other economic investment projects. Which dependent on... Oh, I mixed up the voices. Which dependent on our government budget, right? Yes. Simon searched the documents he was holding and found the one he was looking for. I have the overview of the companies here. Simon handed the files over to me. Look at the files. Like, really, what was the thing? So we got 3 people. So these are the ones who are going to potentially build the train, right? So we've got the Swordish State Corporation, main government corporation tasked with running public construction contracts in the Swordland, part of the Big Four, the 4 largest companies in Swordland. Most usually also called the SSC. It is the most honorable company in the country with a long and solid track record of accomplishing critical projects. In recent years, the efficiency of the corporation seems to have dropped due to the recession and the somehow corrupt management structure. It is still considered the safest bet for big projects in the minds of many government officials. Option number 2. Underhall Construction. The real estate giant is owned by the mayor of Conriat, Chris Schar. Most people in Swordland know the name Underland Construction by the many iconic buildings they have constructed in nearly all major cities. Recently, the company sold half of the shares to Walter Tusk. While this breached certain competition clauses, it was largely ignored. Underhall... Excuse me? Some of their recent work is in the Whole Sword Central Station, which they completed on time, but violated workers' rights in the progress. So this is the one. This is the one that Walter Tusk was trying to bribe me to give it to them. So I'm going to probably let you guys vote on this, but just remember that we told this guy to fuck off already. Come on. And Taurus Holding. Founded in 1946 by Gerald Feiss. This is a new and entrepreneurial private company that uses cutting-edge construction technology to reduce construction costs and prices. They recently began taking bigger and riskier contracts in several industries, including the construction industry. But aren't they already construction? So what were they doing before? Anyway, Taurus also deals with shipyard building, bridge works, and training aircraft hangars. The company is known for its great employee perks and high union membership. It is considered much more open and competitive than the usual Swordfish corporations. They are known for their port expansion project in Benfey, which was completed with half the budget. Okay. Which corporation should we talk about? Okay, so... Okay, I don't know if this is they're just gonna, like, give us info, but we're gonna have the vote now. In case this is the one that accidentally, like, triggers it. So... Alright, here we go. Construction company for train project. The SSC, the Underhaul, Construction, or Taurus. Okay, it's just gonna give me info. Okay, but let's just have it vote now. Although it kind of looks like we might already have a winner. But go ahead and vote, please. This is kind of the perfect music for the vote. Sengen says, we can take them out later when we privatize the state assets based and collectivized pill. Alright, well, let's vote. Let's vote, people. Oh, good. I'm glad how fast. I'm happy with how fast some of you voted. I see your argument there, Tenbray, but looking at the voting results, I don't think people liked it very much. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. Taurus opens you up to influence from the wet. This is a tight vote, guys. Get in there and vote. It's close. He tried to bribe us. That alone makes me want to vote for Underhaul. Totally understandable. I didn't like his attitude. Like, you guys are voting for it. If you guys vote for Underhaul Construction, I'm going to click Underhaul Construction. But, let's see. Prepare to lose all your budget in like a year. LMAO. Taurus is the best if you refuse the workers' rights. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I thought that... But I thought they had good employee perks and high union membership. Doesn't like if they've got a strong union, wouldn't they already be pro-union right or workers' rights or whatever? Let's see. That's not very communist of you, comrade. Taurus has just become par with the other companies. Plus, it creates competition between the big boy Underhaul and the underdog Taurus. Taurus is a foreign corporation. It doesn't affect relations with the West. Where does it say it's a new... Where does it say that it's a foreign? Oh, that's right. It's from Arcasia. This is not... This... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't read that right. This is not a Swordish company. This is a foreign company we're asking to build this. But look, it says... Oh, they use technology from a foreign country. Okay. My bad. They're just using that. Got it. Somebody get in and vote. It's very tight. It's a tight race. Well, you know, I guess it doesn't really matter right now because we're just going to get the information anyway. So let's start getting the information about them. Swordish State Corporation. The respected Swordish State Corporation, also known as the SSC, was founded in 1891. It is the main state corporation tasked with running the day-to-day construction services of our country. The SSC is the primary reason why our infrastructure is outdated as is. We need more adaptive construction companies. The disadvantage would be going against your election promises and moving away from a state-dominant economy. There's a one-vote difference, by the way, in the poll. It's anybody's game. Let's see here. Gus stopped and laughed. Look at the abysmal regional railway system. the regional railway system has no relation to this, or they do have a wealth of knowledge and infrastructure. Well, that's just not true. That they have no relation to this, because isn't this us talking about who's going to build the train? Isn't that what we're discussing here? Economic investment projects. Okay. I'm going to say they have a wealth of knowledge and infrastructure because I don't think that this is true. Okay. Simon Hull says, I don't share great admiration for the SSC, but their track record clearly shows completed contracts with thousands of employees who have experience. According to the preliminary calculations of the SSC, they would need more resources to finish a project of this size. So, I think what we're going to do, because it's a very tight vote, and nobody voted for Underhall, not a single person. What we'll probably do, let's also hear about Taurus, and then we will, after hearing about them, do a second vote between just the two of them. All right? So, I like the SSC, but I want to hear about the others. Let's hear about Taurus. Taurus Holding was founded in 1946 and is owned by the entrepreneur Gerald Feiss. It's a new holding company whose subsidiaries use cutting-edge technologies from Arcasia to reduce construction costs and prices. They are known to provide for their workers, who are part of the Labor Union of Swordland. The oldest NGO in Swordland, current spokesperson is Katarina Horton. Nice hair. Many regard the labor union as a foreign influence NGO, but there hardly seems to be any proof on the matter. It's like, the goddamn commies! Anyway, their greatest achievement, they led a miners' strike to challenge the king. The royalists failed. They've been snatching victories against companies. Okay. Okay, they're known to provide for their workers who are part of the labor union of Swordland. They have a very interesting corporation, especially because of their innovative construction methods, but they aren't suitable for large projects like these. Why should we pick Taurus? Why shouldn't we go with Taurus? What's the difference? It's virtually the same question, even though it has opposite me. Oh, I just realized I have the polls open thing there. Why shouldn't we go with Taurus? What's the bad side? I haven't heard a bad side yet. To be frank, what was the largest mega project they worked on? I don't even remember. Gus shook his head. Choosing this corporation is too risky for a project like this if things were to go wrong. So, he's not saying they've done anything bad. He just doesn't think what they've done at the small scale is going to work on a large scale. So we can either say we shouldn't put our first project at risk, there's too much at stake here, or their capabilities matter more than their history they have, we need to make unbiased decisions. So let's do a straw poll here. Okay, Taurus thoughts. I'm just gonna put 1 or 2. This probably doesn't matter. Well, actually, no, it probably does matter. Okay, polls are open. Y'all got a couple minutes. Let's see, Daniel says the SSC is going to give you the best result. Refuse workers' rights or Taurus will be mad. You know what this kind of reminds me of? If anybody's ever read Atlas Shrugged. And you know what? I'm gonna say something. I thought the first 2/3 of Atlas Shrugged did have some good moments in it. I thought Reardon was an interesting guy, but this isn't about politics. So in Atlas Shrugged, for those of you who don't know, one of the main characters, he's developed in the story something that's stronger than steel. It's a made up metal that he ends up calling Reardon steel. He names it after himself. Anyway, so he names it after himself, and it might as well be fucking mithril, because like the whole concept is that it's stronger than steel, but also it's lighter than steel, and it's cheaper to make than steel, and it's just better than steel in every single way. But because it's new, nobody trusts it yet, and so he gets a contract to build a rail line. And it's like a major thing where it's like, well, the first train is gonna go over a bridge, and then like everybody's scared that like the train's gonna hit the bridge and it's gonna collapse because it won't be able to, the Reardon steel won't be able to handle it. So this is kind of reminding me of that, where it's like, oh, they got this new construction stuff technology, but is it gonna work on a big project? Boy, there's a lot of arguing in the chat. I kind of like to see it. It's like, you know, people saying the SEC is going to be better because they got the experience. No, they don't have resources. It's inefficient. It's great, but it's not anymore. And you know, back and forth. And it's good. You know, it's good. I'd like to see the arguing. It's good. It's good. All right, let me look at the vote. Oh, it's overwhelming. Okay, their capabilities matter more than the history they have. We need to make unbiased decisions. You know, I'm going to say one other thing from Atlas Shrugged. Here is a scene from Atlas Shrugged that is completely non-political, and it's one of those things where I say, like, people, like, at least that scene is a good thing in the book. So there's a part where Reardon, he comes home from work, and he comes home to his wife, and his mother and his brother are over, and there's a long scene where they're all having dinner, but basically, long story short, they don't believe in him. They don't believe in the things that he's trying to do. And there's just a scene where, so in the scene, there's a part where, like, in his internal monologue, I think it's after his mom says that she loves him, and he's just thinking to himself, you guys say that you love me, but you hate everything I do, and you don't believe in anything that I do. Like, he just thinks it internally, but it was just, you know, it's kind of like, it's like the song More Than Words, right? You know, saying I love you is not the words I want to hear from you. You know, more than words, more than words. So, Simon Hull says they took a joint contract in Arcadia for restructuring the highway intersection of one of the major cities. It went well, but it is their only large-scale success. See, that would be very encouraging if we were doing the highway project, but I think we ended up voting for the train one, right? If we're going to try a different company, this is the most unique. The project manager from Taurus Holding mentioned that they would be able to finish the project with the allocated funding. Well, of course they would! What are they going to say? Oh, you want us to do a huge mega project that's going to touch several cities in the New Kingdom, and we're going to get a shitload of money for doing it? Sorry, bro, we can't do that. Of course they're going to say they can finish it on time. Of course they're gonna say they're gonna do it within the budget. Why even fucking ask them? God. Sorry, construction companies trigger me. They touched me. They touched me right in my hometown. Okay, see you later, Charlie. The project manager mentioned that they... Yeah, anyway. The only company who found the budget sufficient, making them a cheaper alternative. Okay, so we can say I don't feel confident. We can say it's worth considering. We can say I've settled on it. Okay, here's what we're just gonna do. We're just gonna decide if we want to settle on Taurus or not. So this is gonna be it. Let me set up the straw poll again. Okay, what company do we use? SSC or Taurus? So this, and I'm not even putting the other one on there because nobody voted for it. We didn't get a single vote. Yeah, what a stupid little, I get it. It's a formality. You know, it's like you know, I don't know what would be an example. I don't know. It's like if you're looking for corruption in the government. Like, what are you gonna go? How does this work? You go up to a politician and say, "Hey, are you taking bribes?" And what are they gonna say? "Yep, you caught me. Arrest me and disbar me from office now." Of course, they're gonna say they don't take bribes. Okay, so vote. I know this is probably gonna be a very tight one. Vote, because it was a one. There was only one vote difference before, so we're gonna give this like 3 more minutes. Go. Oh, it's gonna be another tight one. I can tell. But now we've got more information about them. We've heard the pitches. And I just thought it was interesting how, like, I really liked how you guys were discussing different things, because, like, I noticed that some of you were saying, well, we shouldn't go for the SSC because we said we were going to be free market, but then somebody also said, but we also said we're not going to be pro-Western, so that's why we should not do tourists, because that would be pro-Western. So it's very cool, very cool. We're doing the railroad. We're doing the railroad. For anybody who doesn't know, we're doing the railroad. That's what was voted on. That was a pretty tight vote, too, I think. It's 1 vote difference again! Oh, am I gonna have to break the tie? I'll probably just flip a coin. There is 1 vote separating the companies, guys. This is... One vote. Wow, almost all of you have actually voted. It's only 2 people that haven't voted, I think. Coin lands on its side. It's like making promises to different groups of people has the risk of tripping over one another. Yep. As Jaime Lannister said, so many vows, they make you swear and swear. You know, obey the king. Honor your father. But what happens when your father hates the king? Protect the innocent. What happens when the king tells you to kill the innocent? Alright. We sent the Stinucks? Oh, stimulus checks. Sick. Yep, Jaime Lannister is definitely my favorite POV character from the Song of Ice and Fire series. Followed by Theon. I'm actually pulling up the exact quote. Here we go. So many vows, they make you swear and swear. Defend the king. Obey the king. Keep his secrets. Do his bidding. Your life for his. But obey your father. Love your sister. Protect the innocent. Defend the weak. Respect the gods. Obey the laws. It's too much. No matter what you do, you're forsaking one vow or the other. Yeah. Okay, so I think the polls are closed. So, okay, it was a squeaker, but the winner is, with 55% of the vote, Taurus Holding. All right, let's see how they do. Let's see if this Reardon Steel works out. Love your sister hard. So I'm going to tell you guys a little thing, and this is something that I believe firmly. First off, the books are never going to be finished. George Martin's going to die. Deal with it. Accept it. Move on with your lives. Having said that, unless I get definitive truth, like proof, like I'm talking George Martin puts on his webcam, holds up 2 forms of government IDs to prove that it's him, and you know, there's mirrors placed around him to show that nobody's holding a gun to his head, and if while doing that he said, no, Conquering History Games is wrong about this theory, I'm going to believe that this theory is canon. I think... Okay, so what's probably going to happen... Oh my god, did we lose the stream? Or was it just like kind of adjusting? Anyway. So what's probably going to happen, what I hope doesn't happen, is that it's going to turn out that Tyrion, the youngest of the Lannister siblings, is going to turn out to secretly be a Targaryen, because there was possibly a thing between Tywin Lannister's wife and King Aerys. So, I think that it's actually Cersei and Jaime who are secretly Targaryens. For a lot of reasons. I think there's a lot of good dramatic irony in it. I think it's gonna for lots of different irony. So, for example, that's gonna mean that Tyrion and Jaime both killed their fathers. It's gonna create this incredible irony when it turns out that these Lannisters are actually continuing the Targaryen tradition of incest as twins. Nobody's noticed it because they're blonde, and they are described as having like very platinum blonde hair, almost Targaryen-esque. One of my favorite things about the game is that the Discord on it has a bot for Ent and Ran, who on the Discord, if you ask him, he personally suggests and takes the worst options possible. Anyway, if you get back to the game, and I've got a lot of other reasons for it, and I've got a lot of evidence for it. At least I think it's good evidence, but yeah, I think that Jaime Lannister and Cersei Lannister are actually Targaryen children. Okay, so we're saying consistent to our economic strategy. Very well, Mr. President. The contract will be awarded to Taurus Holding. I wish the outcome of the meeting was different, but at the end of the day, the success of the project is what matters. The company will be notified today, and the construction work will begin immediately after. Good luck to us, I guess? I don't know. My expectations for a grand opening ceremony are late next year. I'll be returning to my duties. See you soon, Mr. President. Thank you. This concludes the meeting. I guess nobody gave a crap about my Lannister Targaryen theory because nobody reacted to it. Okay, that's fine. We're not playing Game of Thrones right now. It was very refreshing to the meeting ended, and we spent the remainder of the day attending events in Enrica. It was very refreshing to attend cultural dances and hear the traditional Swordfish music of the region. Hey there, Merrick. Oh, you're one of those, so you don't talk until we're an hour and 43 minutes into the stream, and that's just to say how you can't wait to see me lose. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put you in timeout. You think I don't know? You think I don't know that a lot of you guys show up to see me fail? But you guys act so fucking smug about it. Like, I'm smart. I'm smart. I know the game, and Conquering History Games doesn't. So I'm gonna laugh when he loses, because I played the game perfectly my first time through. See you in 10 minutes, Merrick, if you want to talk more shit. Alright, construction begins for the high-speed railway. It's been awarded a 2-year contract. They're going to be responsible for subgrade, bridge, track laying. Designs involve civil structures, ground retaining walls, earthworks. Taurus said it could build the line much stronger than planned at a much lower cost. Again, what construction company is gonna not say that? What construction company, when they're being offered this huge-ass government contract, is gonna say, oh, man, I don't know. I don't think we can do this, Mr. President. I think we might be in over our heads. You should give all this money to somebody else because it's gonna be over budgeted and take too long if you give it to us. What the fuck? It involves the widening and upgrade of hundreds of kilometers of existing railway. High-speed railway will go from America to Gelsor, connecting the towns of Descat, Attica, and Victoria to the capital. Was Underhall Construction even good at their jobs? I don't know. We never found out. Anyway, the government has announced a new... No. You know what's really fucked up about the construction companies here in El Paso is most of them are not even El Paso companies. They're from outside of the city. So the government has announced a new mega infrastructure project to help alleviate the symptoms of the recession. when the Minister of Economy announced the launch of one of the most contested construction projects in Swordland, a high-speed railway, traffic congestion. Contract given to experienced company. Mega projects typically cost billions of SR. They are difficult to manage. Decision given to a company of tourists should not have been taken so easily, as they lacked large-scale experience and the organizational capacity to complete this task. So these guys do not like it. But isn't Swordland today owned by Underhall Construction? Let's see here. Okay. Funeral of Bernard Circus. Oh, okay. So we're gonna do the funeral. Oh, that one's owned by Caronte, but they're both owned by businessmen. So I think. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the funeral, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the funeral in Dyer for the guy who got killed on Inauguration Day. And then hopefully we're probably gonna get a save notification afterwards, and then that's gonna be it. So we said we were gonna attend the funeral. We already voted on this. The death of Bernard Circus has shocked the country, and his funeral will be held in Dyer among a large crowd of sympathizers. Circus was not only a communist poet, but also an elected MP that has a voice. Note, he was elected as an independent. A state funeral has been organized to honor him. The question is whether the president of the administration will attend the funeral or not. We're going to attend. We already voted on this, guys. I don't want to hear arguing. From what I remember, it was quite decisive. We didn't even have to do a runoff. Oh, saving the game there. Okay, I thought we were attending the funeral. I guess we're not. Yeah, here we go. Funeral of Bernard Circus. Dark clouds were looming over Dyer. You know, we should learn more about this city. There's rivers flowing, largest metro area of all the cities in the nation. It's been split into 3 areas: Old Dyer, New Dyer, and the farmlands. It's an agro city, which was founded in 1911 as an experiment of collectivized agriculture on a city scale. Well, that's probably why all the commies come from there. Let's see here. Heron Walt was the genius mind who executed the project, but originally the idea came from Bogsland. A near-to-perfect agricultural-focused infrastructure network, the Grand Bazaar of Dyer effortlessly gathered all the goods from the farms and facilitated the sales to companies and residents. So there's been a very successful collectivization effort here. So that's why all the communists seem to come from this city. Oh shoot! Ah. Let's see here. In contrast to the New Deer, the concept of time in Old Deer is inexplicably inconsequential. Let's see, various ethnic religious backgrounds. There's a temple. There's a garden city. The city is blessed with a multiculturalism that is unparalleled on the Mercopa continent. It's also cursed with ethnic and religious tensions. Okay, the multiculturalism thing, and I was just talking about communism. I remember I once saw this really funny picture. It was of Ho Chi Minh, but then like there was a fake quote from him on the side. It's like, the final plan of communists will be to have women in the universities with blue-dyed hair, introduced multiculturalism. This is how we shall win the Vietnam War, or something like that. Okay. Let's see here. It looked like it was going to rain. Certainly fitting weather for a funeral. Because, you know, that's just how things work. It's like freaking... like feminism, you know. In the United States... and this is not true of all feminism. There's like so many branches of feminism, and we're like on the are we on the 5th wave or the 6th wave of feminism? But, you know, there's a huge difference between like... you know, where we're freaking in the United States, you'll have some feminists that are arguing about whether it's okay or not to use the term slut. But then, you know, compared to like, you know, the horrible things that happen to women in underdeveloped nations, things like female circumcision is a serious issue, for example. You know, anyway. Well, Christopher, what is this, Christopher? Go full FDR, rapidly do the New Deal, which will increase the economy, meaning you can fund the branches more effectively. As long as Swordfish people have jobs, they're happy. And Brady says it only rains during funerals. Hey, as expected, Bernard Circus' passing maintained its media traction, and all of Swordland was paying attention to the ceremony, especially to what I would say in my speech today. Sir, we have arrived. Raindrops were running down the car window. Oh, there's the rain. We're running down the car window. God, was I just talking about female circumcision? Can you guys tell I've been drinking? Raindrops were running down the car window when Sergei opened my door and held an umbrella over my head. As soon as I got out, flashes from the cameras blinded me. Sorry, well, I'm also going on all these tangents. Hard to make reforms in other countries than your own. Well, yeah, that's the thing too. But you know what I'm just saying? Like, anyway, bless the rains down in Africa. Boom. Let's see. It's okay, Sergei. I will hold my own umbrella. As you wish, sir. He handed me the umbrella and started waiting next to the car with his own. Peter and Carl exited from their own cars in the convoy. They made their way over to me. Anton? Mr. President. I just wanted to inform you that the perimeter is clear and secured completely. There is no one getting in or out without our knowledge. We don't want something similar happening again, do we? You better write for your sake. Good work, thank you, Carl. Okay, you better be right for your sake. This feels a little too pushy. The day you see feminist protests in an Islamic country is the day you see a big fly. Oh, you mean like the feminist protests that have been happening in Iran for years? Like those kinds of... Anyway, we're getting into modern politics. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, hold on. We don't want some... Let's say we don't want something similar happening again, do we? Yeah, let's be a little passive-aggressive about it. Absolutely not, Mr. President. The same mistakes will never happen again. I personally made sure of that. Good. If anything happens to Anton, you'll have to answer to the First Lady. And trust me, Carl, you don't want that. Peter let out a laugh, which drew some attention from bereaved attendees. Okay, we're laughing at a funeral. Like the song, you know, I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Wait, hold on a second. Okay, guys, I'm about to drop some hot bars right here. This is how we get back onto fun topics. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. You gotta start with the chorus to warm up. It's been 1 week since you looked at me, cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying get your act together, come and see me. Come back and see me. 3 days since the living room. I realize it's all my fault, but couldn't tell you. Yesterday you'd forgiven me, but it'll still be 2 days till I say I'm sorry. All right, here we go. I might forget the melody. Hold it now and watch the hoodwink as I make you stop think. You think you're looking at Aquaman. I summon fish to the dish, though I like the charred Swiss. I like the sushi because it's never touched the frying pan. I like wasabi when I bust rhymes. Big like Leanne rhymes because I'm all about value. Brickcam Fritz got the mad hits. You try to match wits. You try to hold me but I bust through. Gonna make a break and take a fake. I'd like a stinking eggy shake. I like vanilla, it's the finest of the flavors. Gotta see the show, cause then you'll know the vertigo is gonna grow. Cause it's so dangerous you'll have to sign a waiver. How can I help it if I think you're funny when you're mad? Trying hard not to smile though I feel bad. I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Can understand what I mean, well you will soon. I have a tendency to wear my mind on my sleeve. I have a history of taking off my shirt. It's been 1 week since you looked at me, threw your arms in the air and said you're crazy. 5 days since you tackled me, I've still got the rug burns on both my knees. It's been 3 days since the afternoon. You realize it's not my fault, not too soon. Yesterday you'd forgiven me, now I sit back and wait until you say you're sorry. Chicken to China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. Watching X-Files with no lights on. Where Dan's Law Man's on. I hope the smoking man's in this one. Like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic. Like Sting, I'm tantric. Like Snickers, guaranteed to satisfy. Like Kurosawa, I make mad films. I don't make films. But if I did, they'd have a samurai. Gonna get a better set of better clubs. Gotta find the kind with tiny nubs. Just so my irons aren't always flying off the backswing. Gotta get into a Sailor Moon. Cause that cartoon's got the boom anime babes. That make me think the wrong thing. Oh, geez, I'm getting it all. I'm mixing it up. Yeah, but Kurosawa. Funny we were talking about film directors. I think I got the melody totally wrong there. So anyway, let's get the music back on. Okay. Peter let out a laugh, which drew some attention from bereaved attendees. Peter, you're being inscribed. I don't think any of us want that. Gesture Peter to lower his voice. You're the only one who can make me laugh at a funeral. He is our best friend. Like, we've known this guy, what, since university? Yeah, we've known this guy for, like, 30 years. You're the only one who can make me laugh at a funeral. Ha! Right? I mean, life is full of tragedy. We should try to take it easy if we can. It started to rain. Several unintelligible voices were heard from Carl's radio. He stepped out to reply and returned shortly. We have a small problem, sir. Oh, yeah, there we go. A few, 5 to be exact, Red Youth members are here to attend the funeral. They apparently said they wish to pay their respects to their fallen comrade. The Red Youth is a legitimate political organization, isn't it? They engaged in urban warfare. They protested and participated in protests. They played an active role in the workers' actions. It's a little vague what's been happening. They've been doing since Tarquin Sol was around. Huh. Should we let them in? Damn, the codex is vague on them. Okay, we're gonna have you guys vote on this because I don't know. Okay, Red Youth at funeral. Okay. Do they pose? Whoops. Pose a threat. Hold on. Let them in. Let them in with guards. Absolutely not. And we'll do a runoff if needed. Okay. All right. Carl looks like Don Knotts. What? I don't know. Tenbray says, America's strength is its strategic location, its incredible logistic network, not even mentioning how many allied countries it has. I could see Swordland becoming a great power, but not with a hostile Russia masquerading as Canada knocking on the front door. Alright, hold on. Polls are open, by the way, guys. Vote, 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 vote. And if anything hits 50% or more, we'll just jump to that. Mm-hmm. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see here. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see here. Come on, vote, 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 y'all. A little bit more than half of you voted. We'll give it another maybe minute or so. Oof. Eric Andre, let me in. What? I don't get it. Are you guys not able to get into the poll? Oh, Caesar, it's okay. Ooh. Uh-huh. Alright. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. You can hear Caesar needs a hug from here. Oh, he gets plenty of hugs. And he's been paying his rent lately on these cold nights. He always cuddles up to me at night. But, he's been nice and toasty warm, keeping me warm during this winter storm. Aren't you a good boy, Caesar? Mwah. Okay, so we don't have a majority. So, first place right now, well, I guess it's going to be between let them in and do they pose a threat. So let's make a new poll. I got Caesar in my lap now. Red youth. Runoff. Let them in. Are they a threat? Okay. Alright, new poll. New poll is open. Polls are open, but it's a brand new one. I stop meowing now that he's in my lap. Yeah. Woo. Let's see. I just don't see Swordland being that sort of power due to the fact they have so many neighbors. We're talking about. Oh, compared to the U.S. in terms of military strength. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much we can go in on the military here. With a revitalized economy, he can spend gajillions on the army, and it will spend more due to the looming threat of Nuremberg, as popular logistics Coburn isn't artillery, armor, apps, RPG, ETE. Yeah. Ooh, Caesar, how are you doing? Bray Wyatt's let me in, please. Let's see, you have big northern bully in Rumberg, big southern rich snob in Lesbia. Rich snob. What do you describe a whole country? Okay, it's pretty overwhelming. We're gonna go ahead and close the polls. Let them in. As you command. Let's head over. They're about to start. We walked towards the crowd circling around the grave. Everyone in attendance was wearing black in mourning. The rain started pouring heavily. Bernard's widow and daughter were in the front row, staring at the coffin with a mixture of disbelief, confusion, and above all, cold, unforgiving sadness. Both of their eyes were very red and swollen from weeping. Before taking my place to observe the ceremony, I gave my condolences to Bernard's wife and his daughter, who looked at me. She reminded me of Deanna. Deanna. When the religious ceremony was done, I was invited by the priest to deliver my speech. I took the podium. I felt like I had a lump in my throat. I couldn't get the daughter's eyes out of my head. Today we are mourning Bernard Circus, a father, a husband, and a loyal servant of this country. Towards the back of the crowd, I spotted the members of the Red Youth, wearing red shirts and black bands of mourning on their arms. They seemed ruly and were respectfully bowing their heads. Time out real quick. It's kind of one of those funny things that you always hear the term unruly, but you never hear ruly as, you know, on its own. It's always people are described as being the opposite of ruly. So I just thought that was interesting that they used the word ruly in the sentence. Anyway. There was complete silence except for the sound of raindrops. Okay, we got to play this right, guys. I might not do votes for this one, but I think the general consensus when we voted a couple streams ago, or last stream, whenever it was, that we were going to go to the funeral, was because it's one of those things. It doesn't matter that he's a communist. This is an opportunity to unify the nation. So let's see here. A great loss for all of us. I will confess I disagree with him almost entirely. It doesn't mean that he deserved this. Our country could be a better place. Regardless of his ideology, this was a heinous act made towards a good man. We must end the cycle of violence. He was a true comrade and fought for what he believed in, his ideal vision of Swordland in every step of his life. I think the regardless of his ideology thing is good, because I remember we were having that conversation about the funeral. We were talking about free speech and freedom of expression and stuff, so I think we're going to go with number 3. Regardless of his ideology, this was a heinous act made towards a good man. We must end this cycle of violence, because then it's also a call to action regarding the violence that's happening nationwide. Because we've been seeing in the news, there's stuff with car bombs. We're finding people with guns. We're seeing planned terrorist attacks. You know, the freaking police are working with the far right. We gotta do something here. Ooh, I was gonna go 3 here, but are you kidding me? It's an attack against Swordland, by extension, me personally? No. The blood of Bernard will not remain on the sacred ground of Swordland? What does that even mean? Like, we're gonna kick him out of the country? Oh, because wasn't he an immigrant? Let me check the codex real quick. He's not from here, is he? Characters, state figures, party leaders. He was swordish. He was killed by the young swords. No, he was from Deer. I don't get it. I don't understand this 4th one. I think we're gonna go with number 2. Circus had a dream of a united Swordland. In these next months, we need to fulfill his dream and band together. Half the price needs to be paid. I will not stop until it's paid full. No, that's too much vengeance. Let's mourn the passing. Hatred begets hatred. There's only one way to overcome this vicious cycle. We must unite against the evil of this world. Yeah, we're going unity. Okay. I would now like to recite one of the poems he left us. Oh, I like that. You know what? We're going to do this just because I want to hear it. What did they write? I would now like to recite a part from one of the poems he left us. Oh, dang it. There's 3 options. They did not let us sing our songs. They are afraid of the dawn. They are afraid of hope, but our songs will be sung. Let's do the moment of silence. During the silence, all that was heard were the white ravens. Some attendees started clapping, some crying. The coffin was lowered into the grave by the grave keepers. After a couple minutes, Bernard Circus was with the soil, no more. As we bid farewell to Bernard, I want to close with the words every sword lives by, Morgnas West Core, or stepson from the... let's see here. So I actually also found out there's an achievement for if you say a Morgna West Core like 5 times over the course of the campaign or something. That the achievement is called catchphrase, I think. So yeah, we'll say that. Morgna West Core, which let me actually look up. West Core. Suzerain. Let me double check what it says. What the exact phrasing is. Shoot. Anyway, yeah, Morna West Core. Everyone replied, Vectern Sisda. Victory is close. With, it's like the morning will come, right? Victory is close. I stepped down from the podium. It was time to leave. I could be wrong. Damn it. I should know what that means, but we've only gone through it once. Morning is near. Victory is close. Okay, thank you very much, Serge. Yeah, I know it's fictional, but I was trying to see if somebody had it, like if it was on the website for Suzerain or something. Anyway. My way back to the car, I still couldn't get the eyes of Bernard's daughter nor the faltering voice of his wife out of my head. Would Deanna, Monica, and Frank look the same way if something happened to me? Peter put his hand on my shoulder. That was a good speech. I sensed only respect from his voice. Thank you, I mean it. I know you do. Come on, it's time to go. We've got work to do. He was right, we had work to do. So much more to do. I realized that the rain had stopped, and I looked up. The black clouds slowly dispersed, and sunbeams enlightened our surroundings. As someone once said, even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise. Hope was still on the horizon. Save game, perfect, right there. Stop. That'll be the end of the stream. Rest in peace, Serkas. And hopefully your death could lead to a more unified Swordland. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the stream there. We're going to pick it back up tomorrow. Where, I don't know what's the, yeah, oh cool, there's like a railway progress bar. But they said that's not going to be finished until like next year. So, yeah, who knows if there's going to be delays or something. So, right now we've got 1 government budget left, 1 wealth yet left. Our economy's in the red. In a weird way, it feels like we've almost just finished the prologue. I guess maybe the prologue, no, because there's the little prologue. But this feels like the end of the first chapter, even if it may not literally be. Yeah, I guess let's read the news to see what's coming up next. They are afraid of hope, but our songs will be sung. Huge crowds of mourners join for a rare display of unity. The chaotic... Others leaned out windows to watch the... President Rain gave a unifying message to all of Swordland by attending the funeral. He paid his respects to Serkas and met with his close relatives. Rain also made an emotional speech that touched thousands of attendees. He finished his speech with a quote from Serkas. They did not let us sing our songs. They are afraid of the dawn. They are afraid of hope, but our songs will be sung. In Swordland today. So this is one of the ones owned by one of the oligarchs. He drew criticism when he agreed to attend the funeral. While the decision was not totally out of the ordinary, the fact that Rain is giving support to a known member of Red Youth who promoted Malinvictism throughout his life is unusual. Later in the day, President Rain was seen together with a group of Red Youth members standing together and paying respects to Serkas. Nationalists who saw Serkas as a traitor heavily criticized the president's move, which will surely continue among the conservative wing of the United Swordland Party. Never would Sol have thought that his party would be led by someone who stands together with a communist who studied in the homeland of Malayevism. So you got to remember that this is one of the businessmen's papers here. So they're being they're not coming out and saying like he's a communist too, but like they're going, you know what? I just think it's interesting that he hangs out with communists. That's all. Just throwing it out there. It's just interesting. Okay. So I think that's it. Briefing on the diplomatic situation. So I guess we're going to deal with some international affairs at the start of the next live stream. But that's it. I will see you all tomorrow. Good stream. Sorry I got onto so many different tangents. 10 ready to congrats. You're a commie now. But in the next live stream, hopefully we'll get out of chapter 1. I'm conquering history games, and I will see Caesar. He spooked me. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. I'm trying to end the stream. Where's my cursor? There we go.